What is going on, everybody? Welcome in Lineman Life Live. It's Monday, a little bit slow news day in the NFL world, but we're going to talk sports. And there's one person, obviously, that is making the headlines in the NFL. We appreciate you guys for being in here. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Got my co-host here, Justin Blaylock. And friend of the show, returning once again, my old teammate from Purdue. Played 4 years with the Oakland Raiders. Yes, we call them Oakland Raiders around here. Stu Schweigert.
What's up, fellas? Thanks for having me back on.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course. So, the elephant in the room, the very fat, sluggish, drunk elephant in the room for the NFL at the moment is the redacted team, the Washington Commanders.
The commies.
I mean, I had to think about that for a second. The commies. They are now, once again, I mean, it's like, what's next with this franchise? You know, they got an owner who is just perpetually fucking off. And now got a situation where he did something that, if you want the NFL owners to get rid of you, they will tolerate some of the biggest bullshit imaginable in whatever you're doing as an owner. They will tolerate going to getting rubbing tugs from freaking massage parlors in Florida when they're doing a human trafficking sting.
Hey, no problem.
No problem. Hey, you just make a donation to the police pension fund, and that goes away real quick. You know,
we'll have you back in the spa by Tuesday.
Yeah,
we'll have you back. Yeah, you can actually come back to the spa by next week. You're good. They finish you good long time. But
shit.
If there's one thing as an owner that you cannot fuck with, you cannot touch the crowned sacred jewels of the NFL, of business when it comes to capitalism in general.
Yeah.
You can't touch the money. You can't touch the moolah. And it appears, and we're going to go through this article and then we're going to give our opinions on what's going on with the Commanders, but it appears that the sacred rules of the NFL's money machine have been violated. Dan Snyder is now being accused of actually hoarding the ticket revenue, at least in the last season, of the NFL. Apparently, the NFL is supposed to, well, we'll get into it because there's some number things we got to talk about. Generally, he took the money that they're supposed to be sharing amongst all of them, and he kept it for himself. So, let's take a look here at this article. This is from Washington Football Wire, USA Today. It says, when will the NFL say enough of Daniel Snyder? Now, the funny thing about this is that, like we said, they don't give a shit about sexual misconduct in the workplace. They don't give a shit about cheerleaders suing. Well, we're going to get rid of the coach that called the commissioner a pussy. Yeah, fuck him. But we're cool with all the other stuff. You know, we'll figure a way to just give a non-answer in the press conference, and we'll move on.
I would laugh if at
our money.
At the end of all this, it was somehow John Gruden that leaked this. to get payback to Snyder.
He just got payback on that bitch. He said, I got you. So the funny thing to me is, and again, I'm going to go through this article, but funny thing to me is that what does he have on some of these owners where they just let him just do what he wants? I don't get it. But let's go ahead. Let's run through this. Let's run through this real quick, and then we'll talk about it. It says Daniel Snyder could indeed again be in big trouble. On Saturday night, AJ Perez of Front Office Sports reported Congress Not even like this ain't no self-investigation going on here, folks.
Right.
Congress is involved here. Congress is involved. That could be problematic. Congress is not only looking into the accusations of inappropriate behavior by Snyder toward Tiffany Johnson, but also digging into a new accusation that the Commanders withheld funds the NFL arranged to be surrendered to the visiting team pool. Washington fans have experienced several times over the last few years where bad news was reported on Snyder. Their hopes spiked that he would be removed as owner, only to be disappointed yet again. That's got to be pain. But this time, it looks as if other NFL owners might have been shorted ticket receipts the NFL arrangement says is rightfully theirs. I mean, only when our own shit is getting fucked with do we give a damn.
No question.
Why is it, though, the Congress needs to spend time? Don't we have enough people up top that they can mandate this stuff and figure things out? Why does Congress need it?
Well, okay, that's a great question, and
God knows they don't have enough to do right now,
right? I mean,
will explain that here in a moment.
Politicians are the grimiest, slimiest guys ever, and they're worried about us, or not us.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. They're worried about the league and what it's. Yeah, no, I hear you. I think there's a lot. I have a theory.
I mean,
we'll talk about that at the end of the article.
These billionaires are putting greasing a lot of palms up on that hill.
Oh yeah, they sure are. They lobby about $55 million a year.
And this is actually already becoming a partisan issue. But that's another day.
Yeah, we can get into it on that. We can get into it a little bit once we get through the article. Just because
my fault.
It kind of intertwines. This is where politics and football kind of intertwine.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So it's one of the times when you can really we can get a little political on it. But let's get through this and then we'll talk because I have a theory as well. It says here, but this time it looks like NFL owners might have been shorted tickets, receipts. The NFL arrangement says is rightfully theirs. Might because this is so early in this story's path. Washington Wire doesn't want to be premature. Okay, so they don't want to jump the gun. That's some journalistic integrity there.
Good.
However, if this is the case, has Dan Snyder lost enough of the trust of his fellow NFL owners? Might that be the beginning of the end of their working relationship? It says here, Mike Florio on Pro Football Talk was rather direct Sunday, posting his Snyder partners have protected him his partners have protected him when it comes to the investigation regarding workplace misconduct, because indirectly they're protecting themselves from having similar allegations threaten to hold on their franchises. If it can be proven that he has been picking his partner's pockets, his partners quite likely will be kicking his ass out of the house. Oh yeah, ain't no doubt about that. A major concern for me at this point is Snyder, having built a reputation for being litigious. Might NFL owners determine it appropriate to punish the Commanders via salary cap reductions, lost draft choices, and who knows what else? That would permit owners to keep Snyder avoiding a litigious mess on their hands, yet be the worst possible news for current business and football staff, coaches, players, and yes, true fans. It would serve to punish many others innocent in this, while also leaving Snyder as the owner. I can already envision the other three NFL East owners voting for such a proposal for competitive reasons. Personally, I'm already dreading that possibility, as it would be most unfair to most of us.
I mean, you already got Carson Wentz.
I
think we're good.
And we got Carson Wentz. They will only know disappointment from this point forward. Yeah. That's all they'll ever know.
We don't need to punish you guys anymore. Sorry,
after completing the story, I see my friend Mark Tyler of Hogs Haven has also tweeted the same concern of people of ours earlier. Let's see. Somebody tweets here. Here's where I get a bit nervous. What happens if Rodgers comes down hard on Dan, but not hard enough to remove him from owning the Commanders? Say we get fines imposed, lose cap money and draft picks, and are still stuck with him as owner. So y'all would suck and still keep him. Y'all would suck even more.
Guaranteeing future shittiness.
I mean, you might as well just abandon your fan base. The fan base might as well abandon ship because they won't be good. They got another decade.
Baltimore's so close. Just go over there.
Okay, so this is my theory on this entire situation. This is what if I am Roger Goodell, my fear is not even that. Well, it's not even a fear for him, but if they find out, because this was reported to a congressional committee that this is what Dan Snyder's doing. So when you're speaking in matters of money, there is one institution that you will not evade. Yeah. You will not escape their reach when they're talking about them dollars, the IRS. Because now, if he's skimming millions, which you would assume, even for a team like the Commanders, if you're skimming millions, you're skimming, I mean, come on, he's a billionaire. He's going to make it at least worth his while. He's probably taking a good, maybe 20, 30, 40 million just so he can get, get another speedboat or something. But,
right.
But the thing is, it's not that the NFL, the owners the owners, obviously, they're going to be coming for his ass. But the biggest problem is, has he been reporting that money on taxes? And if he hasn't, then the IRS tends to be a diligent institution that says, you know what, we're just going to look at all 32 teams, tax payrolls. And we're going to take a look at ticket revenues, and we're going to do a little audit here of the NFL just to kind of, make sure we're not getting fucked because, we do print the money, So that is the biggest fear to me. And that's why I think when it comes to matters of money, that is something that will move the NFL owners to get rid of him. And I think that that's something that is likely to happen. Let's not say likely, because this motherfucker is more resilient than a fucking cockroach in a nuclear fucking fallout.
Yes.
Let's say there is something to be. There is a specific point of leverage here that if there's ever been a time that you could leverage him out of the NFL as the owner, this would be it. But it really has to have a couple of things happen. One being that he was hiding this from the IRS, because that's the only way that you can for sure know that you have all leverage to just be like, you gotta get the fuck out. You're fucking up everything. You're fucking up the racket. Don't skim the skimmers. Don't skim the skimmers. That's a rule. Whew. So I feel like at the end of the day, this could be the straw that breaks the camel's back, because you cannot defend in any way, at least in the eyes of those who can really make life hell for the NFL. You can't defend stealing the money. You can't defend that. So that's my take. What do you think, Justin? How are you looking at this?
Clearly, we know that's the number one issue for all the owners. Every time is going to be the money. I'm kind of curious how they got this over on everybody. Like, surely somebody is regulating the pot of money. Like, hey, this is a little light. I know y'all suck, but this is a little light.
It's a little bit light. Hey, I mean, y'all still the capital, cuz.
Right,
not the capital of the country. Y'all a little light.
Y'all the hogs. This is a perennial or historical powerhouse team.
You know what I mean?
Y'all gotta do a little better than this. I don't know. You better break some legs or go, shake some couches up or something to go find my money.
Hey, where my money at? Where's my money?
And now I'm just thinking, like, surely they're scared that Snyder's just going to go scorched earth if they try to get him out.
Then there's that. What does he have on somebody?
Everywhere on his fucking way out. And doesn't care about no repercussions, nothing. Just, I was with you at XYZ and we was. Hey, I don't even want to imagine what these guys do in their off time.
Oh man, you couldn't even. That's the crazy part. It'd be like, I mean, it's almost like, okay, well, why would you do that? Why would you skim that money off of ticket revenue, knowing you got to give up 40%? Like,
It's
what
such a
are you
small
gaining?
amount.
You did. It's not like you renovated the fucking stadium.
Right?
You know what I
Get the
mean?
fucking bleachers falling over on people and shit
know what I
raining
mean?
on people, literal shit. Like, come on, man. Where'd the money go? What'd you
Like,
do?
where did that money go to? You didn't use it on the actual stadium, because motherfuckers are still getting their careers ended on that fucking grass. You know what I mean? Like, that's notorious for ending y'all's only real glimmer of hope in the last 2 decades. With what's his name? RG3.
Oh yeah.
And like you said, you got literal shit raining on people's heads. I mean, you would think that you would have, gotten some things sealed up with extra money. But it just, it just doesn't look good. It doesn't look good at all. And I mean, I hope he has to sell the team at some point. I mean, the NFL doesn't like that kind of hit. They don't like that. They don't like people taking the money.
Surely he doesn't need $10 million personally. Like,
yeah, for what? That's like having a $20 bill in his pocket.
Are you just addicted to the scam? Like, what's going on?
He's just a thrill seeker. He just loves the thrill of cheating people. Like, yeah, I got him.
Not my pocket money. Like, come on, man.
He's doing fucking trading places. He's making bets on people's fucking lives for $1.
Yeah, the usual.
Oh man, Stu, what do you think about this whole situation?
Well, I'm sitting here and I'm quiet because I'm on Forbes.com. I just wanted to look at the 32 teams and their net worth and all that stuff like this. And this is August 5th of 2021. It says the NFL's most valuable teams 2021 average team value soars to $3.5 billion as league shrugs off pandemic year. It says with lucrative new media deals and some fruitful investments, the NFL's 32 teams are worth 14% more than last year on average, as the Dallas Cowboys hold the top spot at $6.5 billion. So I have a point to this, so give me 1 second. I'll get there.
Take your time.
So the Dallas Cowboys value they're number one, $6.5 million.
Of course.
It went up 14% from 2020. Owner Jerry Jones.
Where them Jags at, cuz?
Operating income $280.4 million. Number 2, the Patriots. Number 3, the Giants. Number 4, the Rams. Number 5, the Washington football team. They're valued at They're valued at $4.2 billion. They're from season 20 to 21, they went up 20%. An operating cost of $25 million, and the whole point an
operating cost of what?
$25 million.
Hold on. What was the operating cost for the Cowboys?
Cowboys was.
Did you say 280?
$280.4 million.
What?
Hey,
wow!
It takes money to make money.
New England
takes money to make money, huh?
New England operating cost. New England $142 million. Now so the New York Giants valued $4.85 billion. They increased 13%. Their owners are John Mara and Stephen Tisch. Mm-hmm. What does this mean? Operating income negative $12.5 million.
There's no way they're losing money.
Did
they build the stadium with their own? No, because that stadium's old now.
It was brand new right before we came in the league.
How could?
I don't. Yeah, well, there's a couple teams. 49ers, even though they're at number 6, operating costs negative $45.4 million. The Bears. Now let's go down and see.
That might be the salaries they take.
Like dead money?
No. Ooh, yeah, that might. Hold on. You said that was before last year, right?
Yeah, this 21 season.
So that was the Patriots spent like 150 in the first day of free agency. So I guess
it must just be maybe their payment plans on the stadium certain years it goes up, or you know what I'm saying, like at this year they're owed this much or something,
right. Or someone's
hold on. So this is the thing. Yeah, somebody's you got to be cooking the books, bruh. How you only got an operating cost of $28 million?
Wait,
you're number 5 in value.
Here, Jacksonville Jaguars, 26th, valued at $2.8 billion. They went up 14% from the previous season. Annual income, operating income, $68.8 million. But the whole reason for me saying this is I'm looking at this going,
hold on, what?
68 million.
So they spend more money on operating costs than the fucking Commanders, who are fifth in value.
Again, I mean, you got to look at too. What states are they in, and different taxes.
Okay. You can say that, but I mean,
no. Well, here's what I'm saying though: is how much
they're in DC though, right?
Yeah. Well,
not cheap,
Landover,
but they've been there. They've been there for a long time.
They're in Maryland. They're in
Landover.
Yeah.
Are they? I thought their stadium. Well, their facilities are in Ashburn, Virginia.
But actually, yeah, I don't know how they're
in Ashburn.
Okay,
bro, they in DC when they playing games, bro.
I'm
that
thinking
is
about
like
the Ravens.
But here's the thing.
That's like y'all motherfuckers getting taxed on everything.
How much money does somebody need? You know what I mean? Like his team back in my day when Gene Upshaw, God rest his soul, would come in head of their NFLPA and go over the team's net worth and what teams were rated. Snyder's always had a top producing.
He came in and got that. He did. He came in and he kind of snatched that top spot. Like,
and I'm just thinking, like,
as soon as he got there.
I mean, I know when he would make us pay, like the opposing team would have to pay for their buses for parking. He would make them pay for parking coming in, right?
What a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. How much money does somebody need that you're already a successful business? Like, where is that money? Like you guys said, what does he need it? Is it like, where would it be going? What do you need it for?
I mean, maybe that's why he's a successful businessman.
Well, that's true.
Hey,
that's very true. I mean, successful, like they're cheap, but like how
this seems a little bit much.
I mean, it's just how is it greed, or like you said, does he does he get off on knowing he's like cheating people out of money, that he's like, like when people, like for instance, when people are shoplifting, it's not the item, it's
the thrill, the endorphins they get in their brain.
Yeah, and I'm thinking like, how either one, how small is your dick? How insecure are you that you just that's your way of showing how powerful you are? But it's just like I just can't imagine how these guys, and you're talking about a league that is, I mean, just such a great business model and helps the communities and gives back so much. And you're talking about owners, and you guys are, the owners groups are like teammates, man. And you're stealing from your team. And it's like, I know you're stealing from other, multi-billionaires, but still why are you trying to, that's just some like foul stuff to do. It's
right.
Simple. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of things I can put up with, but if something like a friend of mine were to steal or a keep like that from me, I'm like, man, that's like,
and it's something that can't even be like, if it'd be one thing if you were like I said, if he was diverting money around to pay for renovations and fix shit up, but this motherfucker stadium is literally falling apart before our very eyes on national television. So he's not spending the money on that.
Well, it
could be hush money for all his endeavors.
I mean, yeah.
I was just thinking, it looks like they got their uniforms from Dick's. Like he went down to
hey,
freaking
man, those uniforms are so garbage. I thought they would be way better than that.
But
they're so tacky.
It's just like, I just don't understand what people think. I mean, I remember there was, I forgot what comedian it was, but I think it was Paul Mooney, and he just talked about people think are you going to take that? You can't, when you're dead, man, you can't take it with you, man. You can't. The Egyptians tried. They buried themselves.
They buried all this shit with them.
So it's why do you need this? Why do you need that much money? Why do you need those houses? I could see, like you said, if maybe he's struggling in the team, and he just had to I have to make it through next year, man, to make payroll. I gotta. Okay, but
it's like Jerry Buss at the beginning, or
or
Jackie Moon or something.
How does something like this slip through the cracks? Who was asleep on the job to let something like
this?
Dude,
nobody even knew about this until it got reported to Congress.
But how crazy is that the NFL wasn't missing these tens of millions of dollars? They
didn't even think about it. That's another question you got to ask: is why didn't they notice it was gone?
I got audited by the IRS for my rookie year in 2006. My rookie year was 2004. Dude, they knew, like, they were like literally my rookie dinner.
Yep.
They like knew what we had, what it was. Like, no, you can't write that off. I'm like, I can't even hide, like, like write off some gas or something, let alone this guy's hiding billions of dollars. Like, what's going on?
Hey,
What is going on, dude?
one thing about the cardinal rule: you will render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's. Like, you cannot get around that shit.
You
Like, no
can't
matter
get around it.
who you are, the most powerful people, still,
And maybe
IRS is going to find a way.
Maybe it's just the fact of him just thinking, like, they think they can that's my money, and they think
He's
they
like,
can
these
become
motherfuckers
it.
are trying to get rid of me. I know they want me out.
Yeah, and it's almost like a challenge just to try to screw them over. You know what I mean? And it's like, dude, the house always wins, bro. And I don't care, that IRS is the baddest, worst, grimiest gang in the entire world, and
they are diligent as fuck, and they can get a subpoena and a fucking warrant for anything.
Freeze your accounts. You owe us this much
They'll
money.
freeze your accounts. You won't even know what happened. You won't have no idea. You'll just be like, yo.
Garnish
wages.
God
forbid if they forget to send you a refund.
Dude. Let me tell you, these motherfuckers had a refund.
Get 2025.
They had a refund of mine sitting in fucking their accounts for like 5-6 years. I ain't see it till I had already retired for 4 years. I'm called them up to get my records.
Where my interest at?
To do my returns.
Oh yeah.
They're like, hey, by the way, we got a return here for about $40,000 that you never claimed. I'm like,
oh, it's my fault.
Never claimed, bitch. I never sent it.
It's my fault. Yeah, I got stuck between the seats when I was going to deliver it, and
right.
you didn't call.
Like, shit, y'all better send me my goddamn money.
But you didn't. You acted like you didn't want it. You didn't call us, so we were just waiting for you to figure.
We were just waiting on you. Oh, by the way, you've only got like 3 more months before your ability to claim this expires. I'm like,
yeah.
Wait. There's actually a 5% fee for claiming it late.
Yeah, really. We had a hold. We're at 5% holding fee.
Hey, I ain't gonna front. I was like, hell yeah, because I had that, and I had like a $100K return coming. I was like, oh, give me my. But I was mad. I was like, what the fuck you mean y'all got my money?
Not to mention the interest that they've earned on your money that you didn't get.
For real.
Like, fuck, I could have turned that, $40,000 into 10% more.
But think about this, guys. Think about how much money we paid in taxes, and we couldn't hide anything. It makes me mad. Like, man, I paid my stuff. You pay your stuff, dude. Like, pay what you're supposed to pay.
When it's a motherfucker like that who got all that money, and they look, I feel like to a certain extent we all can be frugal because we only want to spend money on our shit. Yeah. We don't want to spend money on nobody else.
Yeah, people are always, I'm broke. You're only broke on the things you don't want to pay for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But, this is a guy who is a billionaire. So, I mean, all things are relative. He spends money like a billionaire spends money, which means he's probably cheap as fuck on things that he has to spend money on that costs a lot of money, like his football stadium. So it wouldn't surprise me that a petty, cheap motherfucker like him would snatch a little money off the top of the cash registers. Like, man, fuck these motherfuckers. They want to get rid of me. They don't want me in the NFL no more. I ain't giving them none of this fucking ticket revenue.
I guarantee you, when they have financial meetings or whatever, the beginning of the year to look at whatever, they're not going to sit here and go, okay, where do I put money? He's going to sit there and the first thing he says is, where can I fucking cut some costs?
How can I?
Yeah, where can I slash a little bit off of this?
Where can I put some duct tape? Where can we find? Where can I save money? I don't care about fixing anything up. I want to know where I was wasting money. Who am I paying too much?
Look at their roster. Who on that roster makes over $10 million a year? I don't think there's anybody on there that makes over $10 million a year.
Seriously?
Except for Carson Wentz.
I'm about to say now maybe Carson, but
I don't think they got a guy on the roster who makes over 10, bro.
And no one deserves it.
Well, here's the thing.
Chase Young's pretty good. I don't know.
Chase Young, that's it. But he's
just
because
he's the top pick.
Have you ever met Jeff Scanina, Uche?
I know who you're talking about, Scanina. Yeah.
So Scanina played Justin. He was a lineman for Purdue in the early 90s. He played like 17 years in the league. He's the defensive tackle coach for the Commanders.
I remember the name.
And dude, he was, he's he was here for the he came up for the combine or whatever it was. And we went out and watched the Purdue game or whatever. And I couldn't believe what he was getting paid for a NFL coach. I'm like, dude, I'm thinking, and I don't want to put his stuff out there, but I'm like, I don't know if it's worth it, dude. Like, what?
That's why I won't be a coach.
I'm like,
no.
What?
Unless they willing to pay me some good money, I ain't coaching shit.
Yeah, it's
because here's the thing:
they don't get no benefits. They don't get nothing.
That's what's funny is people think when you say you're in, and then like the equipment managers and like all that, like I'm like, no, those
are regular ass fucking $35,000 a year fucking jobs.
The owner feels like, hey, you should just be happy that I'm letting you in the building, let alone even paying you for it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
happy you got a code, motherfucker.
Yeah. And you think everybody's making like that NFL money? It's like,
right. A lot of cats are not anywhere close.
No, I'm just the chef, bro. I don't get paid. Like, I like being around football.
I mean, hey man, our chefs were cool as fuck. We had a group of chefs. Them cats were cool as shit, but you know they ain't making no money.
No,
them cats are getting paid. I mean, at that time, they're probably getting paid maybe $12 an hour.
Oh, I mean, out in Oakland, we couldn't even take a jersey without them payroll deducting us. And I'm thinking,
hey, Jacksonville gave us our jerseys, but they did not give us our helmets.
We get one at the end of the year.
Yeah, you get one jersey.
You can choose home or away.
Give me all of them.
Did you guys get direct
give me
deposit?
all of them.
Yeah.
You got direct deposit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So listen. So again, Al Davis, right? The Raiders were always like 30, 31 as far as like he didn't give us stuff like about the business side of it, right? And he was a penny pincher or whatever. The reason that we would go on Tuesdays and get an actual check, right? So what do guys usually do? You think guys get that check and go right to the bank and put it in?
Motherfuckers don't cash it for months.
Guess what? You're talking, there could be a guy with a $3 million check that's been sitting in his glove box.
I've heard of this kind of shit.
And guess who's collecting interest on it? It ain't the player. He ain't cashed it yet. You don't start collecting the interest until you deposit that.
You can't put that mug in your account.
They're like, that's why Al Davis doesn't do direct deposit. Because unless you cash it, he's still making money on that thing. It's still his money. I'm like,
yeah,
damn, bro. Like, really? Like, I had to go to Bank of America with like my game checks and like deposit them. And I'm thinking,
people are looking at you like, we're going to need to run a check on this.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, dude.
Be happy they didn't do you like Ryan Coogler.
For real. Have a cop just walk up next to you with a gun by his side. Like,
he was taking money out.
Put your hands behind your back.
Oh, gotcha.
The guy that made Black Panther or whatever. But he was making a withdrawal and somebody like flagged him or some shit.
Tucker White 94 for $2 says, quick aside, this ad layout is hideous. I guess that's from the website that we were looking at earlier.
Sorry, guys.
And Chili Boots, $1.99.
What's ad layout? What are you talking
Washington
about?
also rebranded twice. That costs money. It was just from the website we were looking at. They had a bunch of weird ads on the side of the stories.
What would the rebranding?
Well, they rebranded to the Washington football team.
That costs you money.
Commanders.
But, I mean, how hard is that to come up with?
How much? Yeah, I mean, first off, it's not like you had
on that.
I mean, come on, man. They tried to hype up the Commanders shit. Like they really spent some time on that.
Switching some carpet in the locker room, maybe.
But I mean, surely you made more on the merch than you did on the rebrand.
The merch. I mean, look, dude, I'll be honest. Now at this point, I feel like they should have just stayed the Washington football team. I feel like that's actually got a better ring to it because it kind of sounds like a Euro squad. So the Washington football team, they had
like DC United,
like DC United, like Real Madrid,
Club, Italy football.
Everyone is football club, and then your town.
They should have just kept it like that. Put the W on the side of the helmet.
Football.
Yeah. They put the W on the side of the helmet like they have with that Commanders bullshit, and just leave it at that. Because that Commander stuff, it looks so none of it like flows together. It all looks so broken.
It seems like it just doesn't seem like it's the NFL, does it?
It doesn't seem like an NFL uniform at all. NFL uniforms have like a certain they have a certain classic look to all of them.
Not so much anymore though. They're getting
even now. Look. There are two things that are certain in NFL and the way NFL uniforms are designed. And that is that the pants and the pants are usually going to be a solid color, and the jersey will be solid up to the point of the shoulders or the ribs, and that's it. There's no changes. Like everything is straight lined. There's not a bunch of weird like font, and they got a weird font on the white jersey. It looks ridiculous.
Remember, you guys had it right where your socks had to be show so much white. And if you were either a white cleats team or a black cleats team, and if you had black cleats, you had black tape. Dude, these guys.
But then slowly they started adding in the colors to everything.
Happen? Like those guys
now they can wear their jerseys however the fuck they want. I'm like, God,
they got the shit tailored up here.
You know what I mean? I'm like,
showing and shit.
Other dudes wearing black, dude, white. Like
we had to 2013, like they were done with the sock thing.
Jerseys tucked in.
The jersey had to. Well, my jersey wasn't tucked in, but my jersey was long enough to where it looked like it was tucked in.
Oh yeah, he had a ruler making sure like you got enough white showing on them nasty ass two-tone NFL socks.
And they're gonna pull you aside if you're not in compliance.
Yep.
None of this
and you get that FedEx. You get that FedEx on Monday. Like,
Nike
some guys just don't care. I'll just pay it. You know,
it's a Monday night game.
A lot of and what you don't realize is
sweet.
Yeah, I gotta be fresh. You know,
a lot of those guys are still getting fined for doing that. They still fine.
Yeah.
For some of that shit.
Now
you get the first ones for free.
Yeah, they're still fine.
Oh, okay. Well,
I don't know, dude.
No, they will give you one free. But from what I've been told, they still fining for egregious shit. Like the only way you can have your jersey to be like shorter than tucking in is if it's tailored, and you have to have it tailored by the team.
Well, then everyone's got visors now. Everyone's got visors. I flew out to New York.
You can wear clear ones.
But you had to get like documentation of
a lot of guys got to wear clear ones.
I still got denied to get.
Yeah, I remember like the dark ones. You still got to have a pass for that. You can just wear clear visors now. Yeah. Dark ones, you still got to get a pass.
Like orange ones and smoked ones and mirrored.
That you got to get a pass on before you can wear them. They got amber and they got dark, and then they got clear. Everybody can wear clear. With no anything. I wore clear my whole career. I always wore a visor. Because the one game I didn't wear a visor, my second year I didn't wear a visor one game. I got 2 fingers dead and 2 gloved fingers in the eyeball. I was like, hell no. Visor.
Fuck.
Visor.
Hey, just to switch topics. I was on my show earlier and we were talking about the Raiders have a third pick that we gave away our first and second for, Devontae Adams. Is that correct? Yeah. And we were talking about what to get in that third round pick. And there's talking about switching from a zone blocking scheme to a power
blocking. Power is man.
So obviously, I mean, you guys, you don't just stay one the whole time, obviously. I mean, you have multiple.
No, you switch. Yeah, you don't use just one.
And they're asking, do we think that that's a better? And for me, I mean, if you're a power running team and as an offensive lineman, doesn't that clear things up for you? Isn't it easier than trying to know, like, trading off guys? Or, I mean, what's your guys' opinion? I'd love to know that.
I mean, I think it just really depends on what defense you're going up against. Because I mean, if we're playing against a D that like 3-4 defenses, I like more man than zone.
And why?
Zone gives 3-4 way too long to read the play. Because the linebackers can just slow play it and just watch.
See, that's what I thought.
There's nobody because they're not being covered up.
Waiting for them to make a move, right?
Yeah.
Whereas,
we're waiting on them to declare, right? It's either they declare or the defensive end, who is on your tackle, he declares. And 3-4s don't declare; they just sit on it.
On the other school, you guys are the ones that you're if you're coming out, we can't disguise. We have to go our responsibilities and gaps. So doesn't it kind of clear things up? And even for a running back, I got to think, okay, I know that this is the guy I have to make miss. He's not blocked, but in zone, it could be, is he going to pick him up?
Right.
It seems like it'd be a lot of confusion a little bit, right? I mean,
yes.
What do you guys like?
There's just a set. The coaches have always like kind of scratched their brain about how to run against, what's the preferred way to run against 3-4s. But as a player, I can tell you that I would much rather run a man blocking scheme against a 3-4 for the simple fact is that you can hit them quicker
Yeah.
if you're man blocking them. If you're zone blocking, all of your blocks are going to pretty much take place at the line, because as a guard, as I'm going off on my angle on the zone block, I'm watching the defensive end with the peripheral on the linebacker who's stacked over the top, but he's not coming downhill.
Yeah.
So I have to read, what is this DN doing? By the time I read what he's doing and decide, okay, because in 2 steps I need to decide, am I going up to the backer or am I going to take over this defensive end? And a lot of times you don't get a clear declaration from the tackle even, because he's trying to get the dude to run. The dude's just sitting down on him.
Yeah, they're gaming it just like we are.
Well, I think it might be tough because you know, like through practice and stuff, you see a certain look and you're going to go, okay, I know this guy. Then all of a sudden that dude doesn't do what he's supposed to do. And then you're like, oh shit, is he changing some shit up, or did he just not do what he was supposed to do? Like that would be fucking hard as shit. You know what I mean? It'd be like,
for 3-4s, they give the guards the decision. You make the decision. Whatever you make, go with it. Because you can only make one decision.
Like, if you're looking at it and they come up in a certain thing and you're like,
if I see a 3-4, if it's a 3-4 defense and I know it's a 3-4 and they, sometimes front side 3-4s will fire that backer just to kind of like try and get penetration.
Pull the guard off. Yeah.
Yeah. To make the guard to take the guard out of it. So,
and now it's a one-on-one, 2 1-on-1.
That's usually something that, I mean, he can't get the jump on me by doing that.
Okay, let me ask you this: do you guys?
It's harder for me to block him if I'm indecisive on the D end and then try to climb up to the backer because I can't really tell what to do on the D end. Well, the backer is already, once he sees me start coming up, because it takes a moment to make that declaration, he's going to take off over the top because he's protected. He's protected by that D end who's sitting on the tackle. So if something comes inside of that D end, he'll fall off inside. And you got the nose coming on the backside of that too. So
how important from an offensive line are you? You guys have a lot of calls between each other. I know that. But like for me, like as a defensive back, formations, down and distance, personnel groupings, I'm eliminating and coming up with, you start at 100 plays beginning, and then you cut it down to here, and I'm going, okay, there's probably in this formation, there's about 10 plays they may run. But for you guys, are you just worried about your own thing and just play your responsibilities of the call? Or are you looking and actually like, okay, I'm pretty sure on this play, this guy's here? Or do you just let sometimes the coach will say, hey, listen, we don't know what's going to happen. Just play the responsibilities of your defense.
I guess
that's jump plays.
That's kind of the same.
Yeah, we absolutely do that as well.
Because
we're trying to pick up on clues. Because the defense tells a lot when you're trying to disguise stuff.
Yeah, usually the safeties are the ones that tell you what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's your ass.
The safeties can only disguise for so long before they have to actually go do what they're supposed to do.
And that's at the end of the day, you have to get to your responsibility just like we do. So once that unfolds,
generally, like if it's like a pass, right? So if we're in a gun pass and we're running a slide protection, like a jet protection, well, normally you're calling the will backer, so you're calling the slot. If it's a 3 wide receiver set, you're calling the slot. The slot, you determine whether or not he's a threat by if he's capped or not. So if he's capped, you got safety over the top outside the hash.
A threat of him rushing on the pass.
Yeah.
But sometimes that safety might be playing down in the box, near the box, like he's going to be an 8-man in the box.
Yeah.
And at the snap, he takes off and falls back to cover the nickel. Well, you only know that when you're looking, when you understand what they're doing on blitzes. You only know that when you know what they're doing on down and distance.
How many times though have you guys really been where a guy really faked you out? I mean, when you got a pretty good, sometimes I see guys and I'm like, dude, stop the disguise, get the fuck, don't, they're not even that, they know you're not coming, or how many times is someone actually where you're looking at him going, this motherfucker, I know what he's doing.
Yeah. Right? But it's not always the one guy. It's like, all right, say, that slot's kind of bluffing or fucking around, but I see the D ends already tightened down.
Yeah.
The D tackles, switched his hand or something.
Yeah, someone else already always
helps give it away.
Because you got to blitz. If this guy is blitzing, that means this guy's over here and needs to cover him, and no one's behind. If he's coming and there's no one behind him taking him, he's not coming. But all of a sudden the safety comes over and he's here pressed up on the guy. You're going,
Yeah, or the opposite D end is standing up, looking out,
Yes.
into the
looking
flat.
off to the flat. Like
Whoever does
I
that,
got
what
that.
pass rusher is going to do that ever? So I mean, someone. It's not always the guy that's doing it. You know, it's a big picture.
and that's one thing Chuck Pagano always said. We have to be like you're on a rope. Like if you're going to show, your buddies need to know that you're trying to make it look like something. One guy can't do that. Like you have to all.
Everything is a wheel. The safeties down to the D line to the linebackers. It's a wheel that just moves in a circle. It goes one way or the other. And you know, since we're talking about that, we got some film that we're going to look at here as well. Let me get to these super chats.
Yeah,
real
my
quick.
bad not to change it to the. I know we were talking about.
Hey, the people want football.
They want football. We give them football.
Yeah.
Ryan Temples for $2 says rebranding didn't cost money. They made it. And that's true.
I mean,
they
surely
it
costs something to
they
make
bring in
a
a company that helps them, you know, set it up. So
please hire me. Save your money. If I could come up with better than the football team.
For real.
I was looking over the comments. What were you guys talking about? What are you talking about?
No. Somebody just said that the rebranding didn't cost them money because they made it. But I mean, it did cost them money because you got obviously got to design it. You got to have new jerseys made by Nike. You got to have new. You know what I mean? You got to have new billboards, new.
I would think maybe
signage.
You know what? Maybe they bought back all of the. You know,
but I'm sure that shit's selling pretty fast. Once people knew that they were changing, I'm sure it was like, oh, collector's item. Let's go get these.
Yep.
Let's go scoop up these old Redskins joints.
Probably not, but might be.
Hey, they had some good fucking times with the Redskins, man.
Yeah, they used to be a power. They used to be on point.
3 Super Bowls, I think.
Yeah.
3 or
Did they really?
3? Yeah. Back in the 80s, they were fucking dominant.
Huh.
I mean, I know they got to 89 Super Bowl, right?
Obviously Doug Williams. I mean, they had some dudes.
I want to say they played the Raiders out in the Coliseum, I think in the 80s. And dude, the DBs like Lester Hayes and those guys were beating up the receivers so bad the receivers literally stopped running the routes. Like the Raiders beat the living shit out of them.
I mean, it was a different game back then.
I know, yeah. You could get away with a lot of more stuff, yeah.
Defense
Defense
can play defense.
Asshole. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
So let's get into some of this film. We got another offensive lineman we're going to take a look at here. This one is University of Northern Iowa offensive tackle.
Oh, okay.
And this is Trevor Penning. Trevor Penning, 6'7". He's rated average overall rank is a 33.
Wait, hold on. I gotta, dude. Just give me a thumbs up or thumb down on 2 guys. We talked about Salyer from Georgia and Sean Ryan from UCLA. Yeah. Have you guys looked at those guys at all? Have you heard of them at all?
No, we haven't looked at them. Those O-linemen?
The kid from Georgia, I think, was the left tackle.
He's a tackle, but they talked about moving him to guard.
Okay,
I don't have him here in the top 10.
But I saw one clip of him giving Aiden Hutchinson the business.
These are guys obviously like 3rd, 4th, 5th round.
Hold on.
Okay, we're working our way down from the top, projected guys.
I'll shut up now. Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. We can try to get to that.
Yeah. So for those of you who maybe this is your first time on the live stream, what we've been doing is we've been going through the top 10 ranked offensive linemen, mainly tackles, for this year's NFL draft. We started with Evan Neal at number 1, then Charles Cross at number 2. Well, I got the all 22 footage, so we're looking at game film. We had Charles Cross as number 2. Kenyon Green was the 3rd. Tyler Linderbaum was the 4th. Ike Mekwonu was number 5. And Bernard Raymond at number 6 from Central Michigan. So this is the 7th. We got 3 more after this. Just kind of an, because I'm getting more and more people now asking me on Twitter. Just kind of an overview as I see it thus far. The best overall offensive lineman that we have watched as a me and Justin as a group this entire time,
a no-brainer.
It's Tyler Linderbaum from Iowa.
Yeah,
far and away the best technique. I mean, the kid's got fucking technique like we use in the NFL. He's got great awareness, situational awareness. He's got great recovery. I think he's far and away technically the best offensive lineman in this group thus far. I think next to him, and this, even though I look at him and say Linderbaum is the best lineman in this group so far, obviously a center is not.
He will not be drafted first. He will not be drafted first.
You know what I mean? He's not going number 1 overall.
Guys, as the 7th best, which you're going to talk about soon, the 7th best offensive lineman in your guys' eyes, what round would that? What do you think?
There's no telling because it's just about how the team acts. Because
usually second.
So the 7th best is okay.
Probably second, maybe third.
And I know sometimes positions can get.
Yeah, if there's a run,
yeah,
I mean there could be 5 on a round. You know.
Yeah. Like I remember, like our year, I was the 3rd ranked guard and I went 5th round.
Yeah, sometimes it's just like that.
And
there's never really a run on guards or sitters.
Yeah, there's never a run on guards. It's only tackles.
The big pretty boys, right?
Yeah, out there playing basketball on grass.
Playing basketball
over there on the outskirts.
That guard tackles, guard center guard.
That guard shit is that phone booth warfare, cuz.
Nasty.
Hey, but they're starting to get paid, so good for them.
I would say after Linderbaum, now that we're talking about the number 1 overall pick, and people who have asked me this, and even I spoke with talking to my guy, what's his name, Brent Coleman. I think that's his name. I can't remember, but he actually was a scout in the league before. He's got a YouTube channel. Me and him talked about it. He thinks, and maybe his opinions change now, but he thinks that Evan Neal is the guy. Whereas me and Justin both believe after watching Evan Neal's film, and that this was the national championship game, and as we watched it, expecting to see the number 1 overall prospect, I was not impressed. He looked sloppy, rough around the edges. He tried to brute force things a lot more than he needed to. And some plays he played hard, some plays he didn't. I believe that Charles Cross should be the number 1 overall pick because he is the most polished offensive tackle that we've seen thus far. But he's polished and he is freakish like measurables. He's 6'5", but this dude's arms are arms of like a 7-foot. I mean, guys can't get near him when his hands are extended. He just doesn't know how to punch. He places his hands, he catches. That's what offensive tackles sometimes tend to be in college. So that can be coached up. But he is polished far beyond Evan Neal, in my opinion. So
I will say that Evan Neal looked like he slimmed down a bit for his pro
like
day
he dropped
and such.
Some weight, yeah.
So I don't know how that'll play out in the draft process. Obviously, less weight, going to be quicker. So maybe he can, appear to have more snap and pop and aggression later in games because you're not going to be blowing people out like Alabama. You're going to have to play all 4 quarters now.
You're going to have to play all 4 quarters, and you're going to have to play all the play.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That was a rude awakening for me. I mean, at Texas, we rarely played in the 4th quarter. Sometimes we barely played in the 3rd.
I apologize. That was actually Ron English, the D coordinator of Purdue, and we have our spring game this weekend. So I want to. He was going to ask me some questions, so unfortunately I'm going to have to cut out early on you guys, man.
Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. Just let us know before you got to head out.
Justin, I'd love to get sometime because we're really now talking about offensive linemen. I'd like to figure out a time to get you guys on my show and talk a little bit of offensive linemen sometime. So think about it or whatever. Let me know what works best for 30 minutes or so. Plus, again, obviously I'd love you to meet the nation and you guys have such a great input on things that I can't give an opinion on offensive line. They want to hear it from you guys. So
More
no
than happy.
worries, no worries.
okay, all right.
All right, let's take a look at this film.
Thanks,
All right,
guys.
enjoy
Are
the
you out of
game.
here? All right, man. Be good. All right, Stu Schweiger. All right, so that's my take on this top 10 so far.
Yeah,
I think there's
completely agree with you there.
And you on the same page with me, right? Yeah, like these cats, I don't see Evan Neal as a number one. I just don't see him as a number one. I would think it would be a mistake for the Jaguars to take him at number one because when you look at the film, I mean, yes, he is a big, strong cat, but he is. I think there are some intangible points of athleticism with Cross that you see him do naturally that is right, that you don't see Evan Neal do naturally.
Yep.
And when you have to coach a player in athleticism, then he doesn't do that naturally.
Right.
And that's where it becomes hard for him to be consistent with that over years. So
now I can understand why Jag's gonna jag.
Jags is gonna jag. I think we know that.
So I can understand how they would become enamored with Evan Neal.
With they become enamored with fucking
look what they did with Urban.
Todd McShay's fucking pre-draft list. Like these cats don't. I mean, this is the thing, man. Like how do you scout an offensive lineman? You scout an offensive lineman with another offensive lineman. Like you have offensive linemen look at the lineman to really tell you what's, because we, especially veteran guys, we know, you just know what a good lineman looks like when he's playing. You can tell from the look of how he's moving. He's not moving the same way as another guy. And that's a big difference. So anyways, for the fifth time, let's get into this video. And let me see here. We got Northern Iowa versus Iowa State. So should be should be a solid comparison here, or solid team to get some competition against. Thank you. And I'm interested. I'm really
I love that background.
excited to see what this Jack T. Price.
Jack Trice. Actually, real quick shout out to Iowa State. First Power 5 school with the stadium named after a black man.
Oh,
if I'm
okay,
I think I'm saying this right. He was a letterman back in way fucking old days, and it might be the first black letterman in Iowa State, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, nice. Big shout out to Iowa State for that. Then
who'd have thought?
So let's check this out. Let's check it out. Here we go. Oh, kind of fucking field are they playing on? Look at that grass.
God bless.
All right, so I'm not sure here. Let's see. I would assume number 70 is him, but let me take a look real quick at this. Why don't they put their numbers on this shit? All right, so it says Trevor Penning joined Northern Iowa Panthers from high school where he played tight end and defensive end. Doesn't say what his jersey number is, but maybe we'll be able to see it here.
I think it's 70.
Maybe left tackle. 70.
It looks like
okay.
70 from what I'm able to pick up real quick.
Got you.
Yeah, 70. Definitely 70.
All right, cool. All right, so left tackle here. Let's take a look at him. Okay. So, this is clearly he's being taught to do this for, just to kind of get that. I wonder if they're trying to make that DN rush up the field, but he's playing his gap, and it doesn't necessarily look like, I wouldn't give him a minus for this. The guy's not affecting the play in any way. Running to the ball. Okay.
Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here, boss. All right. Communicator. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Communicator. Okay. Stance looks solid. Stance, maybe. No, it looks fine. Okay.
Why are they in 3-point every time?
You know what? I will tell you something.
But 77.
3-point stance is the best way to block as an offensive lineman, in my opinion. Why? because you can actually manipulate your 3-point stance so that they never know whether you're running or pass blocking.
Mm-hmm.
My stance was the exact same for either one. My fingertips barely touch the ground. And all my weight is, all my weight's in the ground, flat back, knee bent, and get your butt down just a little bit. And you can actually oh man, I've had a couple D linemen tell me that before on the Jaguars and on other teams, or could never get a read on what you were going to do because your hands never changed in your stance. There was never pressure on them, but you were never not. You were always in the 3-point stance. But I think here, looking at him, that's good. That's that's what
for a guy that tall to get down.
Yeah, he's low. He got under his guy, lifted him up a little bit. I mean, he lost it late, but he's got his feet in the ground. He's got his guy covered up. He shot his hands. Actually, shot his hands. He pressed the guy off of him. He shot him. They're a little late coming off, but he shot him and then he pressed dude off of him. So he has like a natural. He's natural at what it looks natural here. I won't say he's natural because we've only seen a couple plays, but it looks natural. And he's staying. I mean, yeah, okay, that's an old lineman right there.
Yeah,
don't like you jump, bitch.
He's a fucking prick.
Okay. Test him then. Okay. We'll see what he's made of. All right, 3-point stance.
He's wide.
Okay, this must be turn protection. Turn protection.
Oh, I remember Oklahoma used to do this fucking frog hopping draw thing. They had a
little pivot.
A little ass running back, Quentin Griffin, killed us.
Quentin Griffin, he was good.
Would hop one way and just whatever crossed their face, they just ran with it. And then he would just couldn't fucking see him because everyone was so big. So annoying. All right, here's a real play that actual teams run.
Pull out here.
Looks like
we got a blast. This is a blast play. You got the guard and the tackle pulling.
Might want to stick on that guy.
Yeah. Guard takes his guy up, but okay, so obviously looking here, he's not very fast. So I wouldn't, you're not going to, and in the league, you're taught that when this defender is right here and this is his gap now. This is gap. So he has, even way out here, there's a gap. This is a gap.
Yeah. You would never pass this color. I don't understand this.
Never pass color up. And you're knowing here that, okay, let's take a look at this, right? So there's no fullback. This is going to be your call. Center and guard here will be working up to him. He's supposed to crack this motherfucker and hit him in the side, knock him in.
You two got
these two will pull. Now, some teams will pull the first one out, takes first color, which he would still be first color here because he fires down to give to set the edge for the defense. But your guard will pull inside of that, and your guard has to wash anything that comes inside. So here, as soon as because this guy, what he's trying to do here, the slot, is he's going to run up through this for the safety to make this guy kind of keep him bubbled so that he doesn't collapse down into here when he's firing. So that's why he's running inside like this. He's not blocking him or him. He's just going to run inside and try and get a block on him.
Trust me, you do not want the slot blocking either of these motherfuckers.
Hey, when the slots go in here, that's when you hear they left the game with a concussion.
Have you seen that clip
dumb shit
where Ocho Cinco tried to block Ray Lewis?
Oh yeah, he just got fucking body.
He's like, man, I thought I had him.
He's like, man, I thought I was good, and then I learned what it really meant to block Ray Lewis.
Oh man,
but,
you don't want that.
So this tackle here, I mean, you've got to blow the doors off this cat. You got to go through his inside hip and blow the doors off him or cut him. But that's generally in this, they're going to say don't cut him because you're just going to cause a pileup right here. Just run through him, knock him out, kick him out, but do not let him get upfield because if he gets upfield on it, then the running back's going to have to stop and cut up, and everything. If there's any leakage back here, you're fucked. So,
and honestly, if you do like you say, stay inside out, you're going to essentially block two here
Yeah, because this guy's stuck now. He can't.
Now
get
that's
in
some
here.
next level type shit. But if you
We
just
call that graduate level.
yeah, if you understand, gaps and you can count, you understand.
Yeah,
there's
like,
two gaps
they're
in the
fucked
D
right
gap.
here.
There's no
Yeah,
way.
he's
I'm
blocking
buying
two
a
guys
blocker.
here.
I'm buying a blocker.
Yeah.
Someone's going to be free. Now we got a hat for a hat. You start off with 10 versus 11 because the quarterback is usually a non-runner. So now if I buy a blocker, I got a hat for a hat everywhere. We should be.
You got a hat for a hat, so he should go untouched if everybody gets their block.
Yeah.
Now I would say that this first block it's fine, but you want to keep running on this because this is the problem here. Once you stop, they're going to continue to play over the top of you. Right here, he put his head down. Our tackle put his head down, and he's leaning. Oh, so yeah, that was not good.
You don't want to be crossed over either. That right foot should stay.
Yeah,
this next step is too much. One step too far.
Yeah, that's too far.
Like this guy is not going to keep running upfield aimlessly.
And he's reaching for him, but also because of this step, he's going to keep running this way. So his momentum is just going to push him past the defender. Defender can just fall back in and make the play, which is what he does. Well, is what he tried to do. That's what he tried to do. So that one I would give a minus because his technique wasn't very good. So there's not a great amount of athleticism from what I'm seeing right now. But there is some O-line grit there, but there's not the athleticism yet. So let's go through. Let's see some more plays, and maybe we see an improvement on that. Now here, I would say, okay, as a lineman, I would say 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't care what these guys are doing standing here. They're not a threat because my quarterback's in the gun. Running back can take one of them. Quarterback can take the other. And that would be, set for protection. Now, if they're running, you got problems here. So let's see what they do. Don't run into this. Okay.
So they just maxed it up.
Yeah, they maxed up. Okay, so 70's got he's an O lineman. You can see it. He's an O lineman. He's got the O line look. But I'm waiting to see something pop out at me. I think that's what I'm waiting on. He hasn't done anything spectacular. He hasn't done anything dog shit. He's a guy. Okay.
Good result.
Good result for sure.
Next year that'll be illegal downfield, but
Okay, so here it works again. This is they really are running a straight 3-4, huh? Okay, so again, good set.
Oh, now
good set. Punch him. He just needs to punch because even right now he's still in good shape. He's not all the way turned. He's not turned all the way, but now he's reaching.
I mean, eventually you'll turn a little. I mean,
you'll turn. You'll turn at a certain point. You will turn once you get into this. Once you get into you want to turn. If you're going to turn, you want it to happen after your second or third kick. You don't want your second or third kick to be the turn. Mm-hmm. So with him here, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, he's in good shape.
He's in good shape. Good relative position. Good. Good. His guy doesn't really engage, so it's it's arguable whether or not I would as a coach I would be like you need to punch him because if he doesn't engage and he just stays out here and allows himself to just be blocked because he's not doing shit, I ain't gonna get mad at you.
Yeah, fuck it. Save it for another play.
Got him blocked, and then okay.
Oh wow!
And then this is what I want to see.
There we go.
Show me some dickhead. Because you're not an athlete.
There it is.
You're not an athlete, son. But I want to see the grit. I see the grit that makes up for you missing athleticism.
Right.
It's like he's not going to trace back and get an extra shot. And you know what happens? Because look at this guy who hits this running back. This is what NFL O-line coaches will get pissed about. Is if you're a lineman blocking here and he gets the last shot on the running back. Because you know what happens sometimes?
That ball comes out.
Fumble right there because of the last guy. That'll piss an O-line coach off more than anything.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, the only thing worse than go ahead.
Excuse me. Go ahead. I would like to see so we say he didn't punch him, but once you feel that the play is, gone downfield, take that outside hand and rip it,
Yep.
through.
That's exactly right.
Make this part of the block easier for yourself instead of chasing a guy that's faster than you.
Don't
Rip
chase him with
rip that arm under, and you can hook him, and he can't run
this
anywhere.
arm right here.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Make it easy
That's
on yourself.
exactly right. Exactly right.
Work smarter, not harder.
And you know what's crazy is that half the time you do it, they'll be cool with it because it'll make it look like they chasing the ball. They'll be like, okay, well, shit, it looks like I'm running after the ball. We just in a battle. So coach is going to be chill on that. But he's exactly right. You take this left arm, you rip him with it under, and you just run because he can't get in front of you at that point. If you're just chasing, you're going to be just holding onto the back of his jersey. They're going to throw a flag. Rip that backside arm in so that you stay in front of this, and you just run in front of him the whole time. He can't get in front of you. It's funny because I'd never heard of that before until I got to the league.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
so much
that works.
There's so much stuff is
that
just
actually works.
little things that they, you don't think about in college. But free game.
Okay.
Free game.
Ooh.
A lot of coaching points here.
Yeah, because at first I was almost going to give him some props because of the way he avoided this guy, because that's actually a technique to don't touch him.
Yeah.
Leave him so that he gets upfield a little, and then we get a guy to crack him out. Crack him out, and you pick up this backer, and you seal this backer's outside arm so that the running back gets the ball and runs on a straight line and is gone. Because this would be like the spot right here.
Yeah, you're going to have so much green grass. It's going to be difficult here,
and that's one of the hardest blocks is because what they're actually asking you to do right here is get this guy's outside arm. Now, how they're going to do this is they're going to have you not touch him and run up in this way a little bit. They're going to, and this right here, this RPO or this RPO should pull this guy down. And so when they do that, you're going to go, and then you're going to hook, you're going to hop your ass back outside, turn your hips on them. Usually, now this is college, but in the NFL, they would have something going this way. They would have somebody going this way to make him just do one or two steps in here. That way you can just flip your hips on him, and you just literally stand there with your hands on him or your chest or whatever on that outside shoulder, and you just keep him walled off. Because this guy will get kicked out, and your running back, who will also kind of go in here to match you, will then cut out and be free to fucking go on the outside. When it works, it's nice. It's a nice looking play. Problem is, good defenses.
Yeah, they have this schemed up pretty good.
Low percentage you can work that. But I see what he's doing here, and that's. But my problem here is that he has now I'm seeing a tendency where he stops once he gets upfield. Right there, because there was really no reason for him. Yeah, he's not fast enough to make that play.
Oh, he get rolled up right there.
Yeah, and that's I know what that looks like. Who did he get hit by though?
I think that's
another
lineman playing fullback.
Oh,
his buddy
60. His
buddy took him out. Fucking asshole.
Oh my god. Okay, so this is a tight end.
Oh, okay, 84. I thought it was 64.
So, like we say here on Lineman Life, don't ever ask a tight end to block.
This is the kind of shit that happens.
This is the kind of shit that could fucking happen. Now, first off, you're inside out on this guy. If he does this, just hit him and take him across.
Yeah.
Just take him across. You don't got to cut him. Just hit him face up and run him. Take him further than he wants to go. You tried to chop this motherfucker.
Never cut in the hole.
That looks like a blown ACL. That's
never cut in the hole.
Never cut in the hole. Somebody's going to get hurt.
Oh
my God.
I hate to see this. Damn.
Yeah, that's the shit. I don't like seeing that. All right, so real quick.
Yeah, That play didn't have
Yeah,
much of a
super-
chance. Oh, go ahead.
As I say, we got a super chat here. Jason Gaines for $10. Uche, the infamous Donut Gate game was November 2nd, 2008 versus the Bengals. The 0-8 Bengals won 21-19. Jags failed to tie on the 2-point conversion. Carson Palmer was hurt. So the Bengals starting QB was Ryan Fitzpatrick. Fitzmagic, son of a bitch. Yeah, that's the game. That's the only game in my career I got benched.
Okay.
The only game in my entire football career I got benched. And I was like, you made the right decision, coach.
You guys got it.
Because I was not ready for this game at all.
Oh, man.
I was like, I still don't know what some of the plays we run. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what to do on them.
Oh, shit.
My first year as a starter.
Hey, can we go back to the last play? I want to a little wrinkle, and we even did this in college when we were running some zone read stuff to make this so much easier and not get people fucking hurt. Like we would run the zone read and say I was him trying to get up to that linebacker.
This tackle, right?
Yeah. Trevor.
Yeah.
If after that first step, that end came with me, I would just latch onto him, and he's already trying to cross face, or just try to wrong shoulder. He's trying to wrong shoulder whoever comes up. But when I felt that, I would latch on and basically throw him inside. Super easy. It's going to be hard for him because he's taking that big ass second step. But now that second guy has time and space to read his way up to that linebacker. Makes the play so much easier. Now I know they got 40 hours in college to teach everything, so maybe they couldn't get to it. But
so you're saying with this first step here, like if your first step,
he's going. I think he's going too far inside.
You're talking about the D end or the tackle?
The tackle. So he's running like he's chasing him down for like a stretch play to the right. Yeah. Whereas I would have ran right through his shoulder.
Yeah. I think that is the technique, right? Because they don't want the tackle to like follow all of this. They want him to appear like he's taking an inside an inside zone angle, but he's going to be heavy through this guy's shoulder so that he doesn't get lost in the mix down here, trying to fake in here and then get back outside. I think that was one of
any of that stuff.
Yeah. That was an adjustment we made, I think, because it was initially we were like on this play, we want the tackle to take his first 2 steps in here and then climb back outside. But in practice, I think we had issues with that. And they ended up just saying it'd be more efficient if he just kind of like, if you took like tight inside zone and just went straight up on him and just kind of ripped through that shoulder.
Yep.
But if he engages with you to the point where, he's heavy,
if he's on you, just sit.
You can just swallow. You can just take him, and you and the fullback will basically trade responsibilities.
Yeah, because we always ended up trapping that linebacker. We could never hook him.
Yeah, that's a hard block, dude. It's so hard because the only way you can really get the block is if either the slide or a fake, pulls the linebacker. And good linebackers stay at home. They just sit and wait for shit to come to them because it's going to come to them.
And of course, every linebacker we played, they had to honor that because we had a fucking gazelle back there. If you don't honor that, Vince is gone. So that's mostly what we saw.
Yep. Okay.
Sorry for the aside, but the kids at home need to.
No, we dropping knowledge on them.
Free game.
Okay, so this is a good set. I think he's got presence for whoops, what did I do here? I think this is a good set. I think he has a good set here. This is actually ends up being a vertical set, which is good because you kind of want that because what do you got here? You got something weird here. You got guys on the line of scrimmage standing up. You got what? You got 2, 4, 5 guys on the line. Linebacker behind. This guy, you can count him as lineman, but it's not that they're going to like overload you. It's that you're looking for stunts. You're looking for games because that's what you're going to be getting. You're going to get cross, loop, whatever. And this guy here
does not have pass rush tendencies. He's not looking like a pass rusher And I'm not saying that because he's white.
It's not
I'm saying that because of his body language.
I'm not saying that because of his skin color. I'm saying that because he is just standing there chilling.
Like what pass rusher?
He is not rushing. That's
has this
clear
type of body
as day.
language.
Look at him. He's just like, no. Oh, he took one step, one big ass step, and just okay, yeah, you're not rushing. But again, what happens? You get another dropper here.
Mm-hmm.
You get a dropper here. You get a spy here. Then you get 2 outside rails. So rail is when he just goes from inside the interior 3 to the outside, and you don't really got nothing to do. So
wow, they still get a sack
and
out
somehow, oh wow,
oh,
okay, playmaker.
Oh,
okay,
get the fuck out of here!
Let's go.
He does not score here.
How slow is he? Jesus,
that is not Tyreek Hill.
So this is interesting. They get a 2-man rush and almost get a fucking sack.
Wow. Okay, so this right tackle, like I would have clowned his ass the next day. You're gonna tell me with a 2-man rush, you're gonna leave a fucking defensive lineman
no, he didn't.
for the back?
No, he didn't.
Oh,
You're not supposed to leave anybody.
He got him, dog. Like I'm the tackle. There's no one else. There's no other good blockers.
There's nobody for me to pass him to.
Like why are you passing off to a back?
There's nobody for me to pass him to. The running back, what is he supposed to be doing that? Running back's like, hey, what's up? What are you doing?
I'm trying to get out of fucking.
I'm chipping.
Running back's trying to get to a route, Let me get out the flat. Do something else. I'm not trying to block motherfuckers.
I mean, playmaker, though. I mean, the quarterback made a play right there.
Yeah, they got something going here.
That was nice. I ain't mad at that. Not at all. All right, let's see here.
We got a big split.
All
Right. Must
right.
be doing some tricky shit over here.
Oh, God, he has no speed. None. He has no speed. Oh, my God. That's your guy. What are you doing? Oh, no, it's not. 35 is this guy. Well,
how are
him down or something?
Somebody's got to get that guy.
Somebody got to block him. Block him.
Hold on.
What are you doing?
The center's got to get there, right?
I mean, hey.
Oh,
the
wow.
crack. Where'd that crack come from?
Well, that guy's he's a really good player. 23.
23?
I think that's Mike Rose. He was like All-American.
Bruh, look at him here.
But I mean, if you don't block him, they're all going to be All-Americans.
Yeah. They just didn't even block him. Like, dude, you could have cut him here or anything. I mean, they might have got you for the high-low because of that dumbass receiver.
Just do something to slow him down. You don't have to.
Something.
It's not always pretty. And, obviously, defenders are usually
running back
better athletes.
Running back made something out of it. Shit, he picked up fucking, I don't know where he got like 3 yards.
Oh, wow. So this.
Oh, you got 4 yards.
This is hard to believe, but this guy actually tested pretty good.
23?
It's not showing. It's not showing in the film, but guy ran a 4.89, 28-inch vert. Oh,
yeah, I had a
11-inch broad. I don't know what that means. 100
I don't know what that means.
So 120 would be 10 feet. So like 9-foot broad. I mean, he's got straight line speed. How about that? In a track setting. He's got
measurables in an arena that is not football. Well, what I'm looking at here is a football. It is not
showing here.
I'm not seeing a set of skills that I would put my name on. That I would stamp for a draft pick.
Right.
No, not at all.
And maybe that's, if you're not playing aggressive, you're going to look slower.
Well, it looked like he didn't know who to block right here because he
head,
but I mean,
so this
still, I mean,
yeah, I'm not seeing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if he knows who. Yeah, I'm not seeing the athleticism. I'm not seeing the pop. I'm not seeing the explosion. Now, in pass protection, he's done some good stuff, but I think right now, I mean, like
that's a pretty good set. But I mean, it's
yeah,
a head up rusher.
There's something about him.
Yeah, this kid's.
Oh, tell me you get to the end zone, please.
Okay. All right, number 4.
I'm just looking at him, and I'm just kind of like, there's something about him that is undeniably O-line-ish.
Yeah, I'm not trying to say he's a bad player by any means,
He's not a bad player, but I think on an NFL team, he would be, in at least just judging off, and now again, I'm judging off of like a portion of film of one game. So I'm not going to sit here and act like this is the be all and end all. But as a veteran of the professional league, we can tell pretty quickly who has even you can tell where there's talent in alignment. You've seen enough come and go. You've been taught the game on a level that you don't really, look, man, there's not a lot of, if you have a good offensive line coach in the NFL as a player, you're fortunate because those guys give you so much, they give you so much game on how this shit works that like you become an expert. You really do. Because I'm just looking at this guy and I can tell that he has some offensive, he has practice squad written on him to me. A guy who can develop and you can probably bring up in 2 or 3 years. I wouldn't even say practice squad for the whole 2 or 3 years, but I would start him there, get him, kind of work on his technique, get him a little bit quicker, get him with a little bit more pop, and just kind of reshaping his technique, reshaping how you want him to use his techniques. That might be enough to get him into a position to be, in the first 8, potentially a starter.
I don't see anything on here that can't be fixed.
I don't see anything in this guy that says, he ain't shit.
End of the day,
I
can't coach 6'7", 320. I could try all day. I'll never be that.
Like this right here. Like I see good offensive lineman technique right here. He didn't punch really, but he got his hands on the guys. He sat and he kept his feet in the ground.
Yeah,
and he bowed his back rather than fall out from getting
strain.
pushed.
Sometimes
he's straining.
You gotta fucking clench your asshole up real tight. Somehow I'm not gonna fucking move anymore. Sometimes
you shall not pass.
yes.
That's what we used to say it in the fucking meeting rooms. When you see a cat just hopping on the bull rush, you shall not pass.
Yeah, sometimes
you
like
see
that
motherfucker bending. Hey, there've been a few where I'm just like
looking like Gumby. Sometimes that shit can trump technique. It can trump everything. Fucking willpower.
Because sometimes,
Hey,
yeah,
you can't coach that shit. Some cats got that shit. You get to that
point where you gotta grit, you gotta fucking grind that shit, and you're literally at the point of breaking like a twig. It's like they don't even realize one more step, and this quarterback was about to get fucking destroyed. Because I couldn't hold on much longer. I put everything into that block. So, sometimes that happens. So let's get 5 more minutes on this. I think we're seeing a guy who's probably going to end up being a late round guy. But look at this left tackle. There's stuff to coach here, but what I like to see is he's pressing. Oh, okay. Might have been a hold right there, but they didn't call it. Right there.
No flag, no foul.
No flag, no foul, my friend. But you see a guy straining. A little bit. This is the number one thing. Them feet got to fucking move, man. Don't ever let your feet stop like that.
It's okay.
Like right there. Oh, no. Don't do that. Because what tends to happen sometimes is somebody comes flying through the one on the ground. Mm-hmm. But also, you don't have any power here. You have no way of moving this guy who you should be fucking manhandling. He has leverage on you, and leverage wins football. Now, he actually pressed him out. He was underneath the tackle. But the fact that our offensive lineman here, 70, has his hands inside, locked in, he doesn't really fall off of it. Because if his hands were on the outside and this happens, that's a hold.
Oh, yeah, no question.
Because it's still a hold, but you can't tell because your hands are inside. Which means it ain't no hold. So, but I see offensive line qualities in him that you can build on. He's not, there's nothing that's going to make him pop out on the screen. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, I like that. That's again, this is an offensive lineman trait.
Yeah.
To just say, you know what, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna ram you and we're gonna butt fuck you right here. We're gonna break you.
Yeah. This kid,
And just
he has
and you
finished.
just chase it down. Yeah, he's got finish. That's what I mean to say. He's got I want to hurt you finish. And that's good. That's good because I tell you what, I be watching offensive linemen sometimes these days, and I'd be like, these motherfuckers don't got a mean bone in their body. Like, where is the asshole at? Where's the guy who, man, bro? I swear, maybe next week, or maybe on Wednesday, I'm gonna go on the NFL Game Pass and pull some film off from when I was playing and show a couple plays. Maybe I'll get a couple on you too, and we'll just show them. This is what it looks like when you finish on a motherfucker. You see other players hitting you because they feel like you did too much.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, maybe I did, but you ain't gonna try shit the rest of the game.
Yeah, Cats will let you know if you're doing too much, but
you know, I mean, one time we played the damn Colts, and I probably told this story 100 times already, but I mean, this year, for some reason, the coaches were on our ass about finishing motherfuckers off the pile. Like,
oh, yeah.
This is before, the 15-yard rule for cleaning cats. Because, I mean, whew, bruh, that was like a point of pride. We would be running. You would see us come on film out of nowhere, just whoosh, boom. And you just see one body just clump to the ground right by the pile. And it's like, damn. And then I just see players go to the ref. Ref, we're going to let 77 do that. Like, fuck you, bitch. Ain't throw no flag, no foul.
Of course. You're going to try to do the same thing to the running back or the receiver.
Yeah, they were trying to hold the running back up to hit him some more. So I just laid one of their asses out against the Colts on a Monday night game. I got fined $15,000, but hey, happens, I guess.
Cost of doing business.
Cost of doing business the way I want to.
yeah.
All right, let's keep rolling here. Get another play in. We'll do 2 more plays. Let's play in the next one, and we'll call it. Because again, see now this what I don't like to see is a lineman get they don't get out. He's tall. He's 6'5", but don't get out. Don't let him leverage you like this. And the way you don't let them leverage you is, well, one, back the fuck up. Back up. You know this is a run play, and it's not short yardage. Back up. Back up so you get a little room to get that second step down. So once you get that second, now, he skipped here. He skipped a little bit. He shuffled. I don't like that. I don't like that. He shuffled his feet, and when he made contact, look where his feet are. Look where this guy is. This guy is under his shit. So I now know he plays high because this is not the first time. The last play he got done like this as well. Yeah. So this is the pattern that he plays high with no knee bend because you have guys who are about 60 pounds lighter than you who are literally standing you up and bending you backwards.
He's like trying to torque people instead of using his feet.
He's trying to torque his blocks. You can't torque.
Because
that don't work.
Yeah, he's kind of splitting his feet and just kind of like upper bodying guys around. First of all, like we said earlier, if your feet are still and you're in the line of scrimmage, you're going to get fucking hurt eventually.
Yeah, somebody's going to collapse into all this shit.
And the only way to prevent it is to have your feet moving.
Get your feet moving, so at least if they collapse on it, they hit the heel that's moving, and you just fall down.
No big deal.
You trip.
But
you're
if your
planted
feet are
with all this weight on these feet, where this is locked basically, and then something comes and breaks that lock. Oh yeah, that'll be it. That'll feel good.
That's a recipe for fucking disaster.
That's a career ender for a lineman. Sometimes,
hopefully the D lineman's not a dick, and maybe he'll see the guy coming and
and pull you out the way. Sometimes,
you got to have good rapport. That's built up over years and years.
Hey, perfect example.
You're not getting that in college.
You're playing against you're not getting that in college. We're playing against the Ravens on a Monday night. Me and Haloti Nada, 2 plays where we could have destroyed each other. One play I started to do it, and then I thought better of it. It was like, no, don't do that to him. Don't do that to him. Because I was about to go through his rib cage. He ain't see me. He was chasing the play. I was like, ooh, and I started accelerating. And then I barely touched him under his arm into his rib cage, and he started to like lift. And I was like, no, I don't do that. So I bear hugged him. I bear hugged him and held him up. And I mean, he looked at me and we were laughing while the play was going on. We're laughing at each other. I was like, you know, I could have got your ass, right? Man. He's like, oh, brother, thank you, brother. I'm like, yeah, I could have took you out, cuz. Later in the game, Mojo makes a run to about the foot-yard line. I mean, bro, this game was so physical. We were hitting each other so hard. I mean, I was aching like a motherfucker after this game. But we're literally, Mojo's running, he's got like a 14-yard gain to about the 1-yard line. And I'm running behind him, and he's still up. He's still pushing. He's still, he's still fighting for yards. And I'm like running up from behind to try and trying to look for somebody to clean off.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, I feel the right side of my body lift up. And I'm like, oh no! I'm like, oh my God! And then I get grabbed and pulled in, and I'm like, oh. And he's looking at me, he said, oh, I could have got you too, brother. I said, oh, thank heavens.
Oh, man.
Because I did not see you. I did not see you coming at all.
He's a sneaky 350-pounder.
Hey, quick. He was a quick cat. He was a quick cat. Yeah. So it's just like that feeling when you know you're helpless, when you're like, oh my God, somebody got under my pads. And it was like my arm lifted up, and I was like, fuck.
Right.
And then I just got pulled in by the back of my jersey. Like he grabbed the back of my shit and pulled me back towards him. And I was like, did you just show me mercy? Are we best friends? And
the Pacific Islander cats, they know how to play the right way.
Yeah, they know. Like he knew that I gave him a pass on a knockout shot. So he had a knockout shot later in the game, and he did not take it. And it was at the goal line. And I was like, okay, respect, much respect, because, I mean, this is a score on the line. I don't know if I would have did it if I was you. But I respect that you have the integrity and the dignity, and give me my dignity by not making me look like that on national television.
Shit,
when I had a chance to do it to you and I didn't do it.
He had his bread.
He had his bread. Yeah, he'd been had his bread on that point.
He didn't need that.
That wasn't getting him no new contract. But again, nice the point of all of this is that, leverage is a motherfucker. So you want to make sure you got it whenever you can. Because even, and again, this is the part that I like about this guy. Because that is, at the end of the day, I can't teach somebody to be like that. I can't teach an O-lineman to be like this. And sometimes, to be honest, I'd rather have a guy like this than have a dude who's super athletic, has all this and that. Because sometimes, not even really making a claim here, I'm just saying, sometimes that guy will never do this and does not think that, and sometimes seeing a cat do this here is what can change the attitude of 4 other guys trying to get their footing in the game.
That shit is contagious.
Yes. And that's where his value comes in, is that if I got a guy who does this a lot, then these guys, if we're struggling in the game and we need somebody to fucking provide some kind of spark on the line to get some guys moving, that might be part of the spark. Decleating a motherfucker, that might be part of the spark. It might get you fined in the NFL, but it might be the spark that gets the O-line to galvanize and circle the wagons.
Yeah, he gonna have some 15-yarders. He gonna have some fines, but like you said, and also it'll have the defensive line worried about him and not their
then
fucking responsibility.
You
and they're
start
yapping
getting
to the
those
ref.
guys, exactly. You start getting them being emotional because defensive players, they feeling so quick. That's one of the tricks of the trade for O lineman.
Mm-hmm.
If you can get one of these cats who lets you get in their head because they want to, they're worried about everything. They're worried about holding this and that. Look, brother, the moment that you complain to a fucking, like, if it's not a blatant hold, the moment you complain to a referee about holding, I know I got you.
Yep.
Because it means you can't even disengage with me, yo. You getting blocked so bad.
Right.
Which means you ain't got no choice in how the rest of this shit gonna play out. But even here, you look at him, like, again, did he do, his technique here, he doesn't really have a job here other than to keep this guy from getting inside. Now, again, like I would say, like me and Justin have said, you want to beat him with with the left side of your body. You want that part to be in here, beating him on the retrace. Because even though I like this, the idea of what he's doing here, this might be called holding. Because he turned this guy and then he pushed him down.
You can't do that.
That is the attitude that I like.
Right. We can coach you up on how to let that tension out.
We can teach you how to use it the right way. Because, I mean, even here, real talk, in the NFL, they're going to call that holding.
Yeah.
Because of what he does right here, which I don't agree with it because that's not holding. Look, you can be pancaked a number of different ways without being held. That's one way where you get a guard who comes in, smacks the hip. If you hit the hip the right way, all he has to do is just use that momentum, and this guy's done. And he's done. If he comes in here and he lowers this left shoulder and hits him right here, right around his waist and right under his rib cage, he's done. But the problem here is that he has an arm outside and an arm outside.
Yeah, he's not giving anything to hit.
Any torquing he does, any torquing is going to be liable for this guy up here to see it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have your hands inside and you get that hit, then it's just you taking his chest plate and just laying him down. And believe it or not,
like putting a baby to sleep.
Yeah, literally. Believe it or not, referees won't call that because they know that's not holding.
Right.
A lot of times they call holding when they see a defender trying to disengage with a turn, and then he gets pulled back in front of the guy. And that's when they call it. But when they see a guy like off balance and his whole body is moving one way, and a lineman just helps finish his fall, you're good to go.
They might come say something to you between the play, but that's it.
Yeah, they might. They might come say, "Hey, watch your hands there. Make sure they're inside.
Take it easy. Make sure the things are in there."
Yeah, but they won't.
You're not getting
they won't. Yeah, they won't flag you for that. It's done right. All right, last play here.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
I think somebody didn't know what's going on.
Somebody late on the. Okay. All right. So, So overall, this guy. I think his ranking might be just about right. Maybe depends on the last couple guys we take a look at over the next week or two. But this is a guy who's a developmental guy right now. I think he's a developmental guy for the first year, and then you kind of take it from there to see whether or not. He has a role, whether or not there's going to be a role for him on the team. Again, it's not, you never want to create a whole profile based on just a portion of a game. But again, when you understand what to look for, when you know that, these kinds of qualities and traits make a lineman, make a lineman good, and these qualities and traits, make them a polished player. I just don't think that Trevor Penning has I don't think that he has enough natural traits as a player to really, give him a higher ceiling. I don't think he has a very high ceiling from an athleticism standpoint, but that doesn't mean that he can't be successful in the NFL. That just means that, looking at him right now, would I take him anywhere in the first 5 rounds? No,
probably not.
He'd be like a 6th or 7th rounder. Which is fine.
Yeah, a lot
For
of
an
great
offensive
players.
lineman,
Hell, Tom Brady, best player
you
of
know
all
what I
time.
mean?
You know, 6th round
Don't
pick.
get it twisted, man. Like a lot of guys who come in as 6th and 7th rounders, those are guys who are like, those are guys who are just raw. They're raw as fuck, and they're going to need to be developed, and they're probably going to be filling in special teams roles to begin with. And then you find out where they are or if they can be a core player on the team. But a guy like this, I mean, even if he's never a starter in the league, a guy like that can play like 10, 12 years just being in the first 8 and not playing, which is good enough.
That's a
Which is
great
surely
check.
good enough.
It's a great check.
That's a great check. Because when you're labeled, when you're that guy, when you're a rotation guy, but not a starter, that's what they'll put you there instantly on every team.
Yeah, that's like a niche market.
That's a niche market. Like
for that position, you can be that guy on any team. You know, you come in, you learn a playbook.
I bet you know these guys
in the locker room.
I bet you know these guys. Remember the O'Connell, the twins?
Oh yeah.
The Ginger twins.
I know
one
exactly.
played for us in Jacksonville. Then he went to Dallas. One played for Seattle. Then I seen one of them was my teammate. No, wait. One of them was my teammate in Jacksonville for like 2 years. He was just front 8. He was the front 8 guy for 2. His brother was in Dallas at the same time doing the same thing. That's all they did. I remember when me and him, right before I retired, the Saints hit me up. I went to New Orleans, and I trained with them on during their mini camp. And it was me and him. And I seen him there, and we just started laughing because it's like, motherfucker, we were just teammates like 2 years ago. And this was a guy who was he had some things he could do really well. And him and his brother both. I mean, they just had, these guys had long arms, big bodies, but, not terribly athletic. But these dudes would do shit that some of the starters couldn't do in one-on-ones.
I believe
he would do stuff that some guys, I seen from other teams that they couldn't do, but they just weren't good enough to be a guy you would put in there as a starter. But they were easy, reliable as a guy to just rotate. If you got to come in for 2 plays during the game because somebody gets nicked up, boom, he's good.
Yep.
You don't got to worry about nothing. Just don't ask him to play no more than 10 or 15 plays because then you're risking everything. So I think he could be one of those kind of guys, just a guy who gets in there. That's what because he's got long arms, he's tall. That's going to be something that, for better or for worse, not every NFL scout really knows what the fuck they're looking at. So they'll just see that and be like, yeah, bring him in. So
like I can teach him something.
Exactly. So it's not always a matter of whether or not it's going to be a guy who's going to be a starter. It's a guy, can he hang around in the league? Because the one thing that there's a benefit for a guy like that, if he comes in and he's not a starter and he becomes like just a rotation guy in the front 8, maybe dresses for 80% of the games, as a starter, degradation starts to kick in by your 3rd year as a starter.
Yeah.
That's when you're like, oh shit, my feet hurt every time I wake up. Oh shit, I think something's wrong with my shoulder. Oh shit, this finger don't go straight no more. So our clock starts dwindling down quicker. You're going to see a lot more guys with 3-4 years in the league than you'll see with 6, 7. And then there's a lot more 6, 7, 8-year guys than you'll see with 8, 9, 10. And then you have 10 and up. 10 and up is like very small percentage of players.
That's a dying breed right now.
That's a dying breed.
Unless you're a quarterback or a kicker.
Unless you're a quarterback, kicker, or I would say, maybe a
D lineman just because you can be situational.
Yeah, if you're a pass rusher,
like a pass rusher,
if you're a pass rusher, you can play a long time because once you stop becoming a guy that can use on every down, you become a 3rd down guy.
But
or
there's-
you become
there's not a
you become a long yardage guy.
Yeah.
So if there's any, like, if it's 1st and 15, they might put you in. If it's 2nd and long, they'll put you in. But you can last another 6-7 years just being that guy.
Yeah.
So there's always these little roles you can hold on to and be those guys. But the only
we
ones
don't have
that
we
starters don't have that. Starters means you're going to be out there. That is your position, and you're going to be at that position until we decide we can't use your ass no more. And they usually wait till your shit starts breaking, until your shit's broken down and you're holding yourself together.
Here at the LeQuint Dickey Mining Company, you gotta take that hammer and turn big rocks into little rocks. Till your back blow out. Then we gonna toss your ass.
You know what I mean? So, in a sense, our shelf life is shorter than theirs, even though we're playing and they're not. Which, I mean, that's just kind of the way things go. But I see this guy. I see this guy as potentially one of those guys. Trevor Penning out of University of Northern Iowa, which for a guy coming out of University of Northern Iowa, that's a solid. That's a win. That's a win for you.
I mean,
that's a win for you.
By the time he hits year 5, probably making a couple $1 million a year.
Yeah, and maybe by year 5 he gets like 5 or 6 starts because of an injury.
Yeah, I mean,
and then boom, he could
develop into a starter. I mean, shit.
Or he could develop into a starter. Yeah, you're damn right. That could happen too. Now I'm evaluating and saying based on what we're seeing, it would have to be a pretty good situation. It would have to be a situation that worked out.
Yeah.
Fortunately for him,
good
to
scheme,
be a starter. Usually, good scheme. Somebody gets injured.
A little devoid of talent.
Yeah.
But this shit happens. I mean, you can't pay
You
everybody.
could be a starter in Jacksonville.
Yeah, you can't pay everybody. So somebody's got to. All 22 can't be, fucking all pro players. Somebody's.
Yep,
I mean,
true.
There's guys on the team.
There's got to be role players. There's got to be guys. There's got to be just guys. So that's my analysis. I'm sure Justin agrees with me on a lot of that because we both played. We both were career-long starters. We got good looks at every kind of offensive lineman that you could think of. Like, we've seen them all, and we've done a lot. We've done some of the shit that we're telling you about, and we've had some of the shit that we see. We've had it done to us, so we know. Like, yo, when this happens, this happens next.
Right. Hey,
that's how football plays.
If you're around long enough, you're gonna get got.
You're gonna get got.
Even the best get got.
You just don't want it to happen on national TV. That's it. Regional, fuck them. You can argue it never happened. Go get the footage.
Fake news.
Fake news, you motherfucker.
Wasn't me.
It wasn't me. That's a different 77. I only had one 77 that year. Yeah. Fuck off, kid. All right, guys. So that's going to be it for us here. We do appreciate y'all for being in here with us. Make sure you smash that like button if you haven't already done so. We'll be back on Wednesday. Same time, same place. And we will be, we'll maybe, depending on the news day, we will see if we can get in 2 offensive linemen and maybe just go 10 plays for each and try and see if we can squeeze in 2 more since we're getting closer now to the draft.
Draft's around the corner.
Yeah, we need to go ahead and get this done so we can do our top 10 ranking. We're going to post our top 10 ranking the week of the draft. And we're going to, kind of make that, we'll try and cut up a video to kind of present that to you guys. We'll present it live and then we'll do cut ups for it afterwards as usual. So make sure you guys look out for that. But that's going to be it for us. We appreciate y'all for being in here. We will catch you all on the next one. Peace out.
Peace.